On most days, this cramped, hot, sticky shop is where you can find Brian Newton.
Too much time, to be honest with you. No, 6 and 7 days a week. I normally work between 8 and 10 hours a day, 6 and 7 days a week.
50+ hours a week, stitching, sewing, and spinning.
They call it a kick winder because you step down or kick to spin the chuck.
A product he made by equipment you'd normally find in a museum.
1878, still going strong. It was made to last.
Just as the machine is made to last, so is what he makes.
So the brooms have a 15-year construction warranty.
That's right, brooms.
I'm an artisan broom maker.
Products Newton has painstakingly pieced together for the past 7 years.
I latched onto it, I fell in love with it, and I've been enamored with it ever since.
He's not alone.
Just don't do a single rack display like we had at the White House.
Broomstick Johnny's is a team effort with his wife Liz, who teaches consumers how to make their brooms last.
You just dip it, tap it off, hang it back up.
A profession both are eyeing for several years to come.
As long as I'm physically able to do it, I want to do it.
Their endurance is about to be tested because this week their orders are flying in.
Our message machine is plumb full. It wouldn't take anymore. We've missed 43 calls that didn't leave messages. The sales or orders are just going through the roof.
A boom tied to a call this couple never saw coming.
The phone rang and I answered it, you know, and the man said Clayton, his last name, from the White House, and I thought it was a crank call and I just hung up.
It was no prank. Newton and his wife were asked to show off their brooms in D.C. this week.
When the White House calls, you go.
Even if, they say, you feel a little out of place.
They literally pulled us right up to the front door of the White House, and we unloaded our brooms and we took them in.
I felt a little bit like a cross between Forrest Gump and the Clampetts.
The couple took part in President Donald Trump's Made in America display. A business from each state set up shop. For the Hoosier broom makers, it was overwhelming.
Well, they said we were representing Indiana. And then there was a real concern, oh wow, are we going to do right by the people of Indiana?
Pressure not just from back home, but there in D.C., as former Indiana Governor, now Vice President Mike Pence greeted them.
For some reason, I felt a lot more comfortable with Vice President Pence, but he's a Hoosier, so go figure.
The nerves, he says, came from his time with President Trump.
I said, hello, Mr. President. I put my hand out and I shook his hand, and to be honest with you, I don't remember all what we talked about.
The campaign isn't just to help the businesses that were there. It's tied to an executive order President Trump signed this year. It encourages the government to buy local and crack down on foreign visas, a plan these small business owners like to see.
I like the fact that this is being articulated, and I'm hopeful that it's not just words, that actually things will happen.
Meanwhile, back home again in Indiana, this small business owner is racing to keep up.
It really is surreal.
A burst this broom maker hopes will last as long as his century-old machines.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, it really was.
Logan, you want to race Caden down the slide?
Caden Urton is like many other 5-year-olds.
How about?
A young boy who loves to play.
Go. There you go. Keep going.
And lets you know when he's had enough. How you feeling?
I'm tired.
But he's not like most 5-year-olds when it comes to education.
New hat, new hat, new hat, new hat.
As he enters kindergarten, he's already mastered certain books.
Crooked. To straight.
It's not just reading. Caden knows how to add and subtract.
The other day he had cornbread. He likes cornbread. My husband asked him, how was your day? He's like, great. I had 2 whole cornbreads. And he's like, well, actually I had 4 because I cut them in half.
Skills he was far from last summer.
He didn't know any letter sounds, so he was pretty basic.
That all changed after he spent 9 months using this.
Mob. Say that word. Mob.
It's called Upstart, a virtual pre-K program developed by a company in Utah. For 15 minutes, 5 days a week, Caden uses it to identify sounds. And use those to find words.
As.
So you like doing that?
I picked a word.
You picked a word?
And one time I might have picked 3 or 2.
A new way to learn that gets his parents emotional.
It's hard to put in words. Proud. I figure it's a blessing.
At that point, not being in kindergarten yet and already being able to do that, I think that's pretty great.
He's not alone.
Yes, she's going to be good.
Caden was part of a pilot program in a southern Indiana district. New Albany Floyd County educators watched as many of its future students flourished.
So the results that they showed us were amazing, first of all. So I think that was kind of sold us on that really did work.
They were reading text that looked like middle of first grade text with very little picture support and doing it quite well.
The district paired with the Utah company. It offered the virtual pre-K program for free to 100 families.
What we're going to do is try to compare those students that come in that have had this Waterford Upstart and then those that haven't, and kind of see what the difference is.
Not everyone is sold with letting kids get lost in this technology. Lawmakers may have voted and passed to put this in the budget, but they still have concerns over whether this will be better than traditional pre-K.
The socialization that is so important in an early learning environment.
He may have concerns, but Representative Baining is open because it's cheaper than traditional pre-K and it only requires a computer.
This was a way to at least provide some access to those counties for some sort of services.
All right, who's going to race down the slide?
For the Urtons, the program helped Caden earn extra playtime.
My butt is hot.
And set him up for success well before he receives other cap and gowns.
He is now not only prepared for kindergarten, he's way advanced. If anything, I'm worried about him being bored.
The drone business is a buzz across Indiana.
You've got agricultural, public safety, real estate.
Inspections, bridge inspections, chimney inspections.
Matt Austin started aerial imaging resources a few years ago.
I like new technology.
A passion that's turned into big business.
We have more work than we can handle at the moment.
He's not alone. Andrew Hawes started Indy Aerial Photography 3 years ago as well.
Heart still beats fast every time I fly it.
And has doubled his business each year.
Now with drones, you got the ability to be set free. You can get in pretty tight spots and get a completely different perspective.
The unique angle is what worries some legislators. Because of this, as of July, users can be criminally charged. Here's how. If a drone is used by a sex offender to capture people's images, if someone gets in the way of an investigation, uses a drone to peep, or harass someone.
Anyone or hobbyist trying to do anything negative with technology, I think it prevents that.
Another reason for the law, it's easier to get a drone. Commercial technology might cost thousands and be heavy, but take this drone, for example. It weighs less than a pound, costs only a few $100, and there's a camera on it, which can be controlled by using a smart device.
It's only going to make the skies safer and easier for the guys that want to get out there and do it the right way.
Commercial drone owners know there will be more doing just that because with demand so high, it'll entice others to take to the sky.
I think it's really going to start booming here in the next couple of years.
You're going to see these everywhere. It's only the tip of the iceberg right now.